Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Whitney and I am so excited because today we're going to be playing with the Natasha Denona Trichrome palette and we are going to be creating 3 different looks with this palette. We're going to be playing with each row and we're going to be playing with all 3 of the Trichrome shades, which, oh my gosh, amazing. This formula is so cool and oh my god, little sneak peek, how pretty. So if you want to see how we created all 3 of the looks, just keep on watching and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below letting me know if you're grabbing this palette and if you enjoy this type of video using one palette and creating 3 looks, and don't forget to subscribe and we'll jump in. Okay, so I am so excited. First, this is a new type of video for me. I've never done like a 3 look or a multiple look video, so I'm super excited to dive into that, but also bear with me because this is the first time that I've done a look like this. So, we are going to be playing with the Natasha Denona Trichrome palette. And oh my god, this palette, when I seen it on Trend Mood, I needed it immediately. It had to be mine. So this is what the palette looks like. Mine's dirty because I have been playing around with it a bit the past few days. So we open it up and this is what it looks like, and oh my goodness, it is literally stunning. I love the colors in it, but the reason I decided to do this 3 look is because the #1 thing I seen with the feedback on this palette was people didn't think the color story made sense, which I was really confused about because when I look at this, I can automatically see, like before Natasha Denona dove into everything that was going on with it and how she set the palette up, I could automatically see that every row went together. This is all a color story. Like this whole row could have a look and this whole row could make a look and this whole row could make a look. So when I went into what I was gonna do for my video, I figured, why don't we use each one and make a look? So then maybe it makes sense a little bit more for people, or maybe it helps you out coming up with looks for this. I'm sure you could mix and match too. I feel like there's so many looks that you can create with this, but we are just going to use the color story how it was intended to use today, and I am so excited. Also, I put my Christmas tree up. I couldn't help it. Most of you already know that I moved recently. We moved to Texas from Georgia. We were in Georgia for 6 years. My husband's in the military. And I have been struggling in Texas. I don't love it here. So I figured I needed some joy. So we decorated. I pretty much just took everything out and threw it on the floor, and because my husband was like, we are not decorating this early, and I was like, okay, well if I throw it all on the floor he will have no choice but to put it up, right? So that's what happened, and I was right. He was like, we gotta clean this mess up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I completely agree, we should just put the tree up. So that is what we did. So this is my makeup room tree. My kids decorated her. She is beautiful. Look at her. I have been looking everywhere for some type of makeup related tree topper. So like a lipstick or like a little cute palette. It's impossible to find. So if you guys know anywhere who does custom tree toppers or anything like that, please leave them in the comments below, or if you do custom tree toppers, because I want one so bad. I feel like it's so bare at the top and I could put something regular there, but it's a makeup room and it needs a makeup tree topper. So if you know anybody, let me know, and we are going to jump into the first look. I primed this eye with P. Louise blank canvas. We're only going to do one eye on camera for the sake of trying not to make this 100 years long. So I'll do this eye on camera, and then I will hop off, do this eye, the rest of my face, and then we'll come back and do the lower lash line. And I'll do that for every look. And hopefully this video won't be 100 years long, but if it is, thank you for bearing with me. So first we are going to start out. Now this is a look that I did the first time I played with the palette, and I loved it. So I'm going to start with Vert, this really pretty green color right here, and I'm going to go in with a JH40 from Morphe. And we're just going to start patting that on the inner and outer and very lightly through the crease. And the color payoff for this is really good. Let's zoom in just a little bit. There we go. This color payoff is really nice. I honestly don't think I have, including this one, 4 of the Natasha Denona palettes. I have this one, the Tropic palette. Those are like the 2 $129 ones I have. And then I have 2 of the $65 ones. Okay, my sister called me. So we have worked the Vert in the inner and outer, and just up into the crease a little bit. And how stunning that color is. Everything. That is like one of my favorite colors. I love it. So now I am going to take the JS6, which I don't think this is a brush that's sold anymore, and I am going to go into Scrap right here. And this is the darkest green, and I'm just going to go in very lightly. And I'm going to start just deepening the edges up just a little bit. Going in with a little bit more, and then just deepening that all up. And I really want to try to keep the deepness in the inside here, where we're going to put that stunning Trichrome shade. So I want to try to keep that deepness in here all the way up. And then we'll keep this outer portion here a little bit lighter. And we'll go back and really blend that. Literally so stunning. I'm obsessed with like spotlight eyes right now. I cannot stop doing them. For the sake of this not being the exact same eye look, every single one, this is going to be the only spot. I'm only letting myself do one spotlight eye. It's just so pretty. And I'm just kind of tapping that. These blend very easily. So the like tapping, swiping motion, just very gently, it really works to blend these out. Alright, and then I am going to go back in with Vert on that same brush. And we are just going to make sure that that dark shade is nice and blended out on the edges. I know you can hear the planes. For those of you who do not know, we live on an Air Force base, so this is like my everyday. I'm sorry. This is all day long. Alright, loving the way that is looking. And then we are going to go in with an M433, and I'm going to go in with Ion, which is this stunning shade right here. And then I'm not even going to try to butcher that name. This is the very, very light. It's almost a whitish green shade. And I'm going to mix that in, and we're going to use that to blend out all of the edges and make sure there is no harsh lines. This is why I try not to film during the day, because of all of the airplanes. It's like it's not as bad as at night. You can still hear it at night, but it's not as bad. Okay, this is what we got going on so far. I'm gonna go in with this very fluffy brush. I don't think it has a name. It was one of the first brushes that I ever bought. It's still going strong. So whatever this brand is, they did really great. And then I'm gonna go in with the Trichrome shade, but first let me swatch it for you guys, because oh my God, it is literally stunning. Look at that. Oh my God, I don't even know if the camera will pick up how stunning this shade is. And the like beautiful like green, yellow, gold shift. Oh my God. It is stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. I love it. I want to get the liquid ones. I wanted to get them so bad, and the lady at Sephora was like, did you see the liquid ones? And I'm like, please don't talk to me about them. I want them so bad, but they're so pretty. But these powder ones also absolutely stunning. So we are going to use this fluffier brush, and we're just going to start placing that right in the center and blending it in to that deepest shade that we put down. Oh my gosh, it is just so freaking pretty. And then I'm just flipping the brush just to tap those edges out and blend them. Just like that. And then I'm going in one more time with this smaller JH40, and I'm going to go in with that darkest shade. And we're just going to make sure that those edges are nice and blended in. Okay, so that is where we are going to leave it right now. I am going to go throw on the rest of my face and finish up this eye, and then we'll come back and do the lower lash line. Okay, so I went ahead and finished this lower lash line. I meant to do this one, but I was just in the moment and ended up doing this one. But I went ahead and threw on the ColourPop Black Flame Candle from the Hocus Pocus collection in my waterline, and the rest of everything on my face I'll have it linked down below, so we're not going over every single thing, every look. So I have all that. Most of my base items and stuff will probably be the same. We'll change up some of the colors and stuff, but I'll have all that listed below, individualized by each look. So we are going to finish this. I went ahead and deepened up this all together and then smoked it out with Vert because I just thought it looked a little bit better. So I'm going to take this No Name brush. It doesn't have any of the shimmer on it anymore, and we're going to go in with Scrap, and I'm going to buff that on the inner and the outer. This is such a pretty green. Also, I did do my face and then do this eye, and I did not have any fallout, so that is really great. And also, if you can see, there's very little kick up in the pan, so that is awesome as well. And then I'm going to go in with the JH40, and I'm going to go in with Ion, which is that bright green and a little bit of vert. And we're going to blend out both sides. Alright, and then we're going to go back in with that No Name brush, and we're going to go in with the Trichrome shade that we used on the lid, and then we are going to buff that right in the middle. And that is so freaking pretty. Right in the middle there. And then I feel like we need some green mascara, so I'm going to go in with the Full Frontal mascara by Fenty Beauty, and this is in the shade Ivy League. I love these mascaras. I hope they come out with more colors because I do love a colored mascara. And then I'm going to go in with Ion and the pastel, the lightest shade, that's Almost White, and I'm just going to pop that right in the inner corner. And I think this is such a pretty inner corner shade that's not a shimmer, because there are no shimmers in this except the Trichrome shades. But I think this looks so good. I don't even think you need it. A nice bright pastel inner corner is so cute, and then it just really just makes the whole look. So that is it. This is look 1. I wish the camera would pick up the Trichrome on my eyes because it is literally so good, but the camera doesn't pick it up on the eyes like it does in real life. But just know it is absolutely stunning. So this is what we got for the first look. I am going to snap some pictures, take this off, and then we will jump into the second one. Okay, we are back. I did go ahead and start this eye for look number 2 because I had no idea what I wanted to do for the purple line in this palette. So this is what the purple line looks like. I'm going to touch this Trichrome shade for you guys because I know the camera isn't going to pick up how stunning it looks on the eye. But it's not even picking up. It has a stunning blue to purple to green shift. Let's see. Oh my god. Swatch it on the back of the hand and see if we can make it. Oh, it literally won't even pick it up. It is honestly so stunning. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We are going to go in with the Morphe M443, and we're going to go in with Tungsten, which is this purple shade right here. Absolutely beautiful. And we're just going to start running that into the crease. My neighbor has a little boy and he's outside playing and they can hear me. So stinking cute. This color is so pigmented. I'm barely dipping my shade in, or my brush in the shade, and it is just so pigmented. And it just blends out so nicely, so easily. And then very carefully, I'm gonna start winging that out just a little bit. Very lightly. These are honestly so easy to use. And that's what I really enjoy about Natasha Denona's palettes. I know a lot of people don't, a lot of people say they're not worth $129. I don't know if they're, I don't know if I can say that they're worth the $129 because it's such a high price point for an eyeshadow palette, a 15 shade eyeshadow palette. The pans are pretty big, they'll last a really long time, but Natasha Denona's formula, just in the stuff that I have, so like just the stuff I can speak on, her shadow formula is really special. It's really easy to work with. You don't have to struggle to work with it. And I feel like that's the difference between like a high-end palette and then like, let's say we'll compare like a Morphe palette. So Morphe's more on the affordable side, but their quality is a little bit back and forth and it's a little bit harder to work with. Like you have to work a little bit harder to get where you want it at. And with Natasha Denona, I feel like you do not have to work that hard. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. And I feel like you don't have to work that hard, and I feel like that is the perks of paying $129 for an eyeshadow palette, is you get, it's easier, it gets to be easier because of the money you paid for it. And that is just my opinion. I do not buy the $129 palettes unless they really speak to me, because it's expensive. It's expensive. So this one really spoke to me. And I also have seen a lot of people saying that they feel like you can get this in an indie brand. They feel like you can get the Trichrome shades and with an indie brand, or like Natasha Denona's late on the game. I mean, I'm sure you can get these from an indie brand, but I mean, you can get any shadow from an indie brand. So I feel like that was kind of an unnecessary hit at Natasha Denona, because anything that comes out, I'm sure you can get from an indie brand. And then I have quite a few like trichrome, duochrome shades from indie brands myself, but I also feel like I am just mixing these two lighter shades right here and just blending out the top of that. I also feel like some indie brands, especially for like the multi-chrome shades and stuff, they're expensive. So like if we're breaking down how much this is, it was so we're paying $860 per shadow. So I'm just saying $860 for a trichrome duochrome shade. That's cheap. That's on the cheap end of those shades, because I've looked at a lot of those shades from indie brands, and I own a few of types of those shades from indie brands, and I'm telling you right now, I paid more than $860. So yeah, I just personally felt like that was an unnecessary hit. There's no reason to compare. First of all, there's room for everybody, and Natasha Denona is known for like the innovation and like being on par with the trends, and I feel like this is very trendy right now. This is what is going on. We're gonna go in with the Kinetic. So I don't know, that's just my opinion on the matter. Oh my goodness, look at that. And I didn't cut the crease because I wanted to see how well this went on without the crease being cut, and it goes on beautifully. Yeah, so that is just my opinion on it. I just feel like decent price per shadow. You're getting a good bit of product. You're getting there's usually a breakdown per shadow, but there is not for this one. But you are getting a good bit of shadow in these. I personally have never hit pan on any of them, any of my Natasha Denona palettes. So, just my opinion. And then she also has like the liquid version of them, but I do feel like those are a lot pricier. When you could just get the palette with 3 of them, and you're paying, and you're getting her amazing matte formula, and you're paying a little over $8 for the whole, or each individual shadow. So that's just my opinion on that. I'm going to drop that subject now. Those are just a few things I wanted to touch on because I seen them floating around in like the trend mood comments. I always like to read those just to see what people are thinking about like new releases and stuff. And also I'd like to address like some of those comments in my videos and like just give my opinions on what I feel like is going on with those. Okay, so this is where we are going to leave it right now. I'm going to go throw on the rest of my vase and finish up this lower lash line, and then we will be back to finish up this one. Okay, we have finished the face and this lash line, so let me show you all what I did. Super easy. We are going to go in with this darkest purple shade right here, and we're just going to smoke that right across the lower lash line. And then I'm going to go in with the JS6 brush, and I'm going to go in with this slightly deeper purple, and we're just going to use that to blend this out. Like that, nice and blended. And then I'm going to go in to this super light pastel purple right here, and we were going to pop that in the inner corner. Just like that. I'm loving a pastel pop in the inner corner. I think it is so pretty. And then we will go in with some Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. And there we are with look number 2. I think this is so pretty. I love a purple look anyway, but oh my god, it's so pretty. I can't stop staring at it. I don't even want to wipe it off. I think those ones perform just as great as the first set. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so we know the drill. I'm gonna go wipe this off and then I will be back and we will start look number 3. Alright, we are back. Ignore my skin, it is getting angry, and I just put some more moisturizer on because it was feeling really dry from all that washing that we've been doing. But I went ahead and did this eye for the third and final look using the Natasha Denona palette. And this eye is primed using the P. Louise. We are going to go in with this deepest shade right here. And we are going to start working that on the outer corner and into the crease. And we're going to kind of keep this look like a rounded look. This is very pigmented. I will say that these shades do look quite a bit different in the pan than they do on the eyes. I guess maybe just really not as, I didn't expect them to be as pigmented. I kind of expected them to be a little bit softer of a look, which is fine with me because I would prefer more pigment. So we're keeping this look more rounded, kind of dragging it out and underneath, and then just blending in circular motions. Alright, and then I'm going to go in with the same brush, and we're going to go in with this shade right here. And I'm going to take that same way, and I'm just going to blend out the edges of that first shade that we put down. And that's where I'm going to start smoking that out a lot more. Alright, and finally, I think I'm just going to go ahead and keep with this brush because I really just like the way that this brush is just perfect enough to get in there. And we're going to go in with the yellow in this row, and oh my god, it is so beautiful. I highly suggest, if you get this palette, doing this 3 look thing using the specific rows, because I have like 100 ideas of what I want to do with this palette now, because I played with each row and now I'm like, oh my god, I can do this color and this color and this color, and that yellow is so good. It just gave me so many more ideas. So I highly suggest trying that out, even if you don't use the same, you don't have to do the same looks I did, but I do highly suggest just working in those 3 rows, and gives you so many ideas. I'm going to use this shade right here, and I'm just going to run that around all the edges, just a light shade. That one actually has a good bit of kickback. Alright, just like that. I'm going to cut the crease really quick and then we will be back to use the Trichrome shade. Okay, we are back. We got our crease cut. I'm going to go in with Garmon right here, the deepest shade. And we're just going to press that into the outside here and just blend it in so we don't have any harsh lines. And get that nice and blended. Perfect. And then we were going to go in with Color Flip which is the Trichrome. Oh my goodness. Look at this. That one you can see a little bit. The like green to purple. That shift to gold. That shift is literally stunning. So pretty. Let's go ahead and swatch it on the back of the hand. Oh my god. Look at that. Okay. Stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. So we are going to go in with Color Flip on a Morphe 124. And we are just going to start packing that on. Oh my god. Oh my god. So freaking beautiful. Okay. Per usual, I am going to go finish up the rest of my face. And then we will be back to do the lower lash line and give our final thoughts on the Natasha Denona palette. So I will be right back. Alright, we are back. Got everything taken care of except this eye. So let me show you what we did. First, I went in with the JS6. And I went in with the darkest shade right here. I pretty much did the same thing that we did at the top. And we're just going to continue that around the bottom too. And then we're going to go in with this shade here. And we're going to continue to blend that out. Right on those edges. We're going to go in with that yellow shade. Oh. And then in the inner corner, we don't have anything super crazy, so I'm going to mix these two. We don't really have like a pastel shade like we did in the other two rows. So I'm going to mix a little bit of the cream color shade with a little bit of the yellow. We're going to kind of make our own pastel to highlight the inner corners. Just like that. And then a little bit of the Milk Makeup mascara again. Alright, and this is our third and final look using the Natasha Denona palette. I love this one. I think this might be my favorite, honestly. It is so freaking pretty, so smoked out and kind of like fall-y, even though it's not even close to being fall here in Texas. So makes me feel fall vibes anyway. So this palette, is it worth $129? I will leave that up to you to decide, because in my opinion, yes, I think the palette was worth it. It blended out so easily. It really made these looks so easy to do. I feel like if I would have done this with a less expensive palette, it would have taken me a lot more time. We would have eventually got there, but it would have taken me some more time. So I felt like this was a really easy palette to do this whole 3 looks with. And in my opinion, if you have the extra money for it, grab it. But do you absolutely need to go out and spend the money that you do not have for this palette? Absolutely not. You could get some single shades like this somewhere else, or even wait until there's a sale on it. There's a lot of other options, but I definitely do think the palette is worth it, so I don't want anybody to think I don't. I'm just saying if you don't have the $129 to spend on it, it's fine. You don't have to. It's nothing out of this world spectacular, but it is a very good palette, and I would definitely purchase again, so that is always a good sign. And that is it for these 3 looks using the Natasha Denona Trichrome palette. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you enjoyed this type of 3 looks, 1 palette, let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to click that subscribe button before you leave, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.